22 is really one of the toughest. You may have known people with that number and really call them stubborn, like the number 8. Or you may have known them to be entrepreneurs and, like Donald Trump, who has the numerical value of in fact, his life path number is 22, the second master number, the master number, or the builder's number, and of course it's evident that he carries that sort of persona. But I also term this year 2022 as looking at the number 22 as the David's year. King David, he was a poet or psalmist, musician, womanizer, you could say. He was a king, of course, and he also is said to be a man after God's heart. So that would give us a real indication of maybe God is not just as most of us would like to think. If there was a man who committed adultery and he wanted a wife, and he actually did put the woman's husband in front line of the war. This is recorded in the scriptures. So of course after that, feeling very remorse. But if you go through the Psalms, the book of Psalms, you will see that King David had expressed all kinds of emotions that you could ever imagine, or if you hadn't had one of those yourself. Of course, if you hadn't murdered someone, intentionally like he did, you probably would not know exactly what that, the extremity of that. So, of that emotion. But sadness is sadness, anger is anger, envy is envy. And in some way, we all have experienced those to some degree. So I say all of this because we are going to explore the number 22, of course, because it's the 22nd of January, of course, January the first month of 2022. So you can see that we have a lot of tools to deal with. We are more or less is like the terrible twos. So, but before we get on, let's have a tea break. I hope you have your cup. I hope you have your fruit, whatever it is, because this is where we dig in deep and we often just, uncover what has been hidden in plain sight. In short, we are breaking the law of silence. Things that had not been revealed before, but of course, if they are being revealed now, it's that we are in tune, or we are harmonizing with the message or the statement in Genesis of chapter 1 that says everything was given for times and seasons and for days and years. So we are hoping, of course, this year that we call the year of King David, I call it the year of King David. We could also call it the year of Donald Trump, or, we could call it all different names like that, because I really believe that years should be given names just as like hurricanes. And this year, I believe the 22 year, although I think this is going to carry on, these energies are going to carry for a while, because it's going to be so explosive, and not all of us are going to, thank God, have that impact at the same time. It's like it would be some, although I still know believe it to be catastrophic, but at least to give us some breathing space in between. So, and of course, again, you might hear of terrible twos like twins as well. So, there's a place in Africa. I watched a documentary and I made a reference to it in one of my videos. But, they really don't like twins there. In fact, they had this thing when someone bought twins, it's like they bring bad luck into the community. And so they would actually exercise these people, and they really don't want them around. So again, we know when we have a child who is 2 years old, so we know what happens. So basically, if you are new to this channel, let me welcome you. And whether you are new or not, I want to welcome all of you. Subscribe to the channel. I say please, please. Okay, all right. So if you're new, I do urge that you watch the videos on which is Numerology and Spirituality for Beginners. It gives you a kind of insight into understanding what this channel is about. And there are other videos, of course, and to knowing what started this, how did I embark on this, because you might think, well, how did I get onto this? It's a passion that I developed through personal development, or through my growth, through my Kundalini experience, or publication of 2 volumes of the Crimson Light. So it's just my love for growing spiritually, and when I find something really delicious, I love to be able to share it with other people. So this is what I'm doing as I'm learning, growing, and I am sharing with you. So please leave your comments, like and subscribe to this channel so you can be part of this, what I call the us sheep, meaning united souls. Us sheep. All right. So we say we invite the 14 gods that we are the embodiment of. So you are the embodiment of 14 gods. Like in Hinduism, they revere the 14 gods. Every year they have this ceremony, celebration, which is quite big, and they call it the puja celebration. And so they recognize that they have these 14 gods. But why is Christianity not doing the same when they have within the scriptures 14 verbatim gods? 14 verbatim gods. And people, for the past few years, if this were not so, I would not be able to continue doing these teachings on this structure of the 14 gods. The 14 gods are basically like your 7 good virtues and your 7 not so good virtues, or the 14 or the 2 serpents which forms the caduceus, or the left and right. And so we have a lot I want to actually give you in this presentation to see how the number 22 unfolds. But it's not only for people who actually have this in their date of birth. It could be in your name, but also we are all hinging or anchoring onto the vibrations, well, to different extremes. But why not, expose yourself to see how it relates to you, or what sense it makes to you. So, yes, another tea break. Okay, people, so let's look at this. We are going to look at the number 22. I'm going to turn this so you can see the writings on here, and I'm trying to avoid too much glare. And we say, let there be light, and there was light. Of course, all this comes to 3. When we say let there be light, comes to 3. 3, when we do the magic number, evaluation for 3, this is going to show up. 3, it comes to 11. And it said, let there be light, and there was light. Now, of course, if there was light, there had to be darkness. And we have seen from the scriptures, the light came out of the darkness. So I'm mentioning this just to show quickly and briefly, because I'm going to just give you snippets of this wonderful deliciousness, and hopefully you will go, as you go through the playlist, and you will see how these have been reverberating in and around you all the time. So 3, this is why it is called a magic number. And of course it's 11, or 1 plus 1 is 2, because we are doing numerology. And so number 6 here, of course, this is encapsulating all of our makeup. As people, the word people equals 6, as in 33 to be exact. Genesis is 33. person is 33. Believe, which is one, Christ hinge anchored onto the word believe, which also equals 33. And there are more, but these are the ones that I have anchored onto my brain here. And of course, we see that we have 8 words, meaning that this is symbolic of the symbol of infinity that says it is strong. But of course, when we want to grow, when you have this pattern, you need to break off it or form another pattern of it. Break, that means you already have the pattern or something to reflect or catapult yourself out of it to be able to see how to create another pattern or another new one. Okay, so back to the darkness and the light. Darkness and light again. Darkness equals 10 and light is 11. So that is 20. Oh, that is 10 plus 21. 2 plus 1, of course, which equals bread. I did this last night. Bread, blood, or life. For instance, all of these equals 3. This is why Christianity speak of number 3, the 3 in 1. You see that is that product. Of course, they have tapped into this. And when you go to the supermarket and buy your detergent, you see 3 in 1. That is the Trinity. They have been tapping right into the core of your very makeup. So the darkness and the light coming together is 21, just as blood is life. So, of course, blood equals 21, bread equals 21. So as we say, and even I believe LIVE, this is 9, 9, 18, 19, 20. So when you come alive, which is live, this is also 21. Okay, so you see the power of 21. I think I had to do that because there was so much I wanted to say last night in doing the 21. But that's how it happens. Now I'm learning to accept however it happens. So let's look at, I said, the King David. Why do I make a reference to King David? There is so much. And I believe, I'm hoping that I get the opportunity or to be able to have all these kings and all these reputable rulers and to see the common denominator that they have, or common denomination with these people, and to see like Judah, King of Judea, or and just to see what were they, what was so special, numerically speaking, that was about these people. So, but King David has been DAVID. Now, when I do VID, I do hair like Eve, like the Eve hair. Now, something that I did, let's just do King. King is, we'll have King hair. King is the title, but King equals 5. And David, I'll just do this quickly. So do bear with me as I do this quickly because I really want to give you as much. I know quality is better than quantity, but I'm also wanting to give you variation and examples because people might think, oh, but it's only, that number or so. I want to show you that there are patterns to these numbers that convey messages to us, and that when we learn of the vibrations, then we'll be able to understand what it means to have 3 in 1 when you go to the shop and buy your product, or buy one, get one free, and the word free actually means 7 or whatever it is. So you will get to understand the psyche because that's about growth. Okay, so it's 494. Already you see that there are 2 4s at the end of David that actually says, well, it's like the 2 D's coming together. This is like they actually mirror each other, almost like saying that this is the whole, but it's showing you how there was been that split. It's like David seemed to have had a split personality, we could say, but people won't want to really recognize that. David actually, it was said he danced naked. Again, the word naked it equals 8. And a lot of the stories that we have learned is all about eat, EAT, or the number 8. That's what it's about, people. Or number 31, because the word 8 equals 31. So this is why Jesus said on the cross, Father, Father, there was just 31 on here. Why hast thou forsaken me? So there is that communication that he had, or addressing Father, or the number 8 as Father. So this is what we are talking about. It's like saying eat, munch, grub, all these different terminologies that we use for eat. Yes, so this is what we are talking about. So you see that David, it's like a circle. It's like telling us that you have to do a complete cycle. Your purpose of having this 8 is about a complete cycle. But what happens in between, it's another story. So even in between here, what do we see if we added this together is 14. And that's what we have. Remember, people, I just mentioned about the 14 gods that we are the embodiment of. So they are in the center. They are actually holding up, if you like, King David right here. Another thing that I noticed as well, just let's look at David as before even adding this up. Well, I'm looking at the figure or the numerical value in the middle. It's like the heart. The word heart has in it Heart, has in it the A, which is very well, is like the emblem or the semblance of V right here. So it's as if David had to turn, he had the A, he had the V, trying to make sense. This is of who he is, as of course all this coming together, 14, 18, 19, 22. This is 22 right here, which equals 4. So we will explore 22. Now, why are we not going to do like all the whole year, like get in the vibration? This will show up, this will transpire in all what we are doing, because the year is 2022. So you will get the deliciousness of all the vibration. You will get it, people. And of course, while you get it, remember to click like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so when we get this deliciousness, you can have the first servings of it. Make sense? There is something about being first. Okay, so there we have, we see the two, or the caduceus is here in the middle of David's name, and you too have that. Play around with your name, see what's there. You may have one odd number, or you may have set number. If it was 6 letters, then take the two letters and see what it's telling you. Ask it. Ask your letters, because you are a letter. You are meant to discover who you are through your name, because the word name equals 15. And it's not by chance that King David wrote 150 Psalms, or there are 150 Psalms, which means that it is the number 15. Now, even the number 15 actually comes to the word new equals 15, NEW. That tells you that there is something here which is very profound in the number 15. Or the word name, or if you had the mean, MEAN, which is the same letters, the mean total of something is that. Or the word amen, like Christians like to tell you, amen. People don't realize that you're saying we are tapping into the mean total. It's like saying I agree, we all are that. There is nothing else behind all this. So amen, mean, and name are the same things. I have done videos on this. Tap into this to discover more about yourself, people. Again, hit that notification bell or subscribe. And yes, I am saying this because I feel it is time for us to actually tap into the core of who we are. And I have been actually, you could say ordained, however you want to put it, to let you know that you are the Bible. The 150 Psalms that you read in the Bible, it's not just in the Bible, it's in you. They are codes that are there in you to be tapped into. Even the word Holy Bible comes into that six, which you are the number six. So when it is said six is the number of man, people, we are talking deep. We are digging deep. And this is the channel, of course, where we break the law of silence and you get to know all this. What you don't get anywhere else. You want some fresh food for this 2022 because you need strong, good nutrients to sustain you, because this is times that is going to challenge you. It's going to really get you thinking, well, because everything is happening so quickly, and you want to be able to have the resources to be able to deal with those things. So let's look at 22. Now, I would have loved to make this much shorter, but again, I think about quality is good, and that's what we are here to do. Just break the law of silence. Okay. Oh, not a cuppa. Have a cuppa, people. Have a fruit. Have an apple. It was all about tea, TEA, or they ate, number 8, or they eat, and that's why we actually are conditioned in that way to, as we eat, make sense of ourselves. The word is food. The word that we are decoding is food. Okay. Oh, that is so delicious. So I don't know if you're aware, but the copper it alkalizes the water and so on, so gives it a distinct taste. So now we are talking about King David 22 and showing King David had all these attributes. All what was good and bad equally, you could say they were, he was just powerful. Of course, all kings are. Now we see that we have, like, I can't help but think the like Adam as well, and like Eve. It's like King David was the construct of both Adam and Eve. This is what is coming to me right now. Now, when I'm doing the videos, I have to say to you that I get an idea I'm going to do the number 22, but the gods are activated in me. Even if I didn't actually call on to say, come in their presence, they actually are, channeling. In fact, I'm channeling the gods, or activating the gods, or igniting the gods, because that's what we do. We are information of the gods right here. So I'm getting Eve, and I'm also getting Adam, A-D, the D here, but the M, of course, we have is that when we know that it's like we have to go back to M and M's. That's why McDonald's is all with the M's as well. So, but we have 5 letters. The 5 letters, of course, is like I am that I am. I am is actually 9 and 5. Adding this together comes to the 14. So we could say that having 5 letters is just like, the Christ, because Jesus Christ actually equals 5, or anchor equals 5, or even the word 5, as we have said, that there is the numbers 15, which is 1 plus 5 is 6, but number 5 comes to 6. So we can see that this 5 actually is a representation or symbol of who you are, as the number of man being 6. So all of these here now, of course, this is 5 letters, and we have 4 letters here. That gives us 9 letters. 9 letters coincides with 9 numbers, which we are of. We have 9 life cycles, you could say. So I'm going to show you how this shows up in our sacrifice template. So again, if you are new to this channel, do watch or click on the link below and to see that where you could have numerology and spirituality for beginners, and of course at the same time the notification bell. Okay, so let there be light, and there was light. Remember, I've been talking about the sacrifice. So the sacrifice actually has in it 9 letters, and King David, you could see the correlation of Jesus Christ, who had this sacrifice of 9 letters. So the sacrifice with sacrifice equals 46. 4 plus 6 is 10. This is the seed that is being planted. Number 10 is like masculine, feminine. This is the seed that brings life into, multiple lives now. So here we have on this template, I said I was going to rewrite this, and you will see how we have the cycles of, this is 9 and 9 and 9. So I hope you can see this. 3 9s, 27. We have the blocks of 3 9s here. Of course, 2 plus 7 is 9. But also we see 2 7s of 14 tells us that the gods are present in this. And then we have 3 6s. Why have we got 3 6s? When we have the blocks of 1 2 3, that gives us 6. Or we have 4 5 6, which is 15 in the middle. Of course, is 6, 1 plus 5, and we have 24, 2 plus 4 is 6. All these are very symbolic. And again, if you go through the videos, which I've done over 1,000 videos, I do explore these. And people, it may seem like something new, and of course it's new because no one is teaching numerology in this way, because I am connecting with the spiritual elements of the Bible to make sense of the stories of the Bible. And it's through that I do understand that the stories of the Bibles, whether you want to believe it or not, that it is true or it's literal, they all have the same premise. They all are conveying the message about know thyself. To know thyself. The word know, Know, I'm trying to remember. And I'm usually quite good on this. This is 7, 8, 9. So this is 9. And thy self is 6, and this is 8. So this is 14, so this is 5. So we are talking about, this is what I mean. This is the gods right here. This is what is found, we are told, on all the Egyptian walls, which is interpreted that way, to know thyself. Now we may say, okay, it is written in another language or whatever it is. That's the intelligence of the gods, because every nation or people or whatever it is, you have within you the codes, and so the language matches the codes, if you like. Or you may have different codes or in different languages where you can activate the codes in accordance to the time, season, days, and years. So we intend to show you the correlation of number 22 and 8, and seeing how that is what we are in pursuit of. Okay, and so we have 26 letters, which is part of the language we are given, the gift of the language, which comes to 2 plus 6 is 8. And that again shows us the power of number 8, as in food, as in tea, or whatever it is, as the symbol of infinity. Also, we have 9 numbers. So the 9 numbers that we are dealing with, of course, 1 to 9 again shows us about the power of 10. But when we add these in characters of 26 letters, 9 numbers, or to 9, that gives us a total of 45 characters. 3 plus 5 is 8. So can you see the magic here? So, of course, this is why you have your eye as well to remind you of the power of 45. 3 plus 5 is 8. 3 as in luck, 5 as in new, of course, and of course 8 totaling, we could say that takes us into headquarter zone. So again, you will get the essence of how I term these, which I was spiritually guided to do. Okay, so just giving you a brief thing about how we can also look at, hey, we see, of course, we are talking about number 22 here. So we call this development. 22 demands you to develop your skill sets, your desires, your ambitions, to plant, to create, to move, to actually, and of course to plant, you have to put something in the ground, which means that there is something that becomes invisible, or you have to dig to unearth something. So that means you are always having to work with polarities. So 2 actually demands that of you. Now I'm also looking at from development, which is 4 letters here, coinciding here of number 22. You would also have the 14 gods. So that tells me you really do need the 14 gods if you have got the number 22 here, because here we are. This is 10, 13, 14. And so, the gods are showing me this now. I mean, there is so much to this template that, every now and then I see something that I hadn't seen before. But also when we add numbers 1 to 4, this comes to 10. So it is saying you have no excuse than to plant and to cultivate and so on. Number 10, actually, of the 14 gods is the called God. And called, of course, is of 6 letters, CALLED, or you can call. So call on the gods right here. And so we can see how you can become the master builder of number 22. So we have covered a little bit about King David here, and we see, of course, having king, that means that he had, as David, king is the title. He actually owned the title just as Christ equals 5. So king, I leave the word commitment there, for whatever reason. Oh, commitment is 1M, I think. Okay, well, let's perhaps take it off. Okay, so king, King, this is it. And I will put a list of the numbers or numerical values of 5, because that is asking and beckoning us to get that title. That's what we are getting, that title. We were born from that title and we have to return to this title, but in a refined way, like the Christ form. So we heard of Eve, Mother Eve. And of course, we were told that she was bad. She made man commit. You see what I mean about King David, the V. This is what I mean. So we were told that, this mother was terrible mother. And even now, everybody have an issue with the mother. But we have to go back to the mother. The mother, Gaia, the ground, whatever it is, we have to go back. So, okay, so people, of course, this is 5, 4, 5. This is 14. And king this is 14, 21, 22, 23. This is 23. In case of, you would have helped me had I done this, wouldn't you? I know you would have helped me. Okay, so that would make it so much easier. And I'm counting from the middle. I'm going 14, and then I'm doing this. I'm 21 and 22 with 2, and I say 23. So because so 23 is 5. So you can see the title is earned in that 23, like Christ, Christ, earns it in 32. Whichever way you earn it, you've got to earn it, people. You've got to earn, you've got to do it. Do it. So, by learning, you earn, because the word learn, Learn, has in it earn. It has, all these in it. And of course, in the middle is the A, which is like, the heart. Okay, so learn with your heart. Okay, so now for the number 22, because we had, let's just do this on here. So we have 2212022. Okay, we're working with two boards. So now to give you the essence of the vibration of how this happens, and to let you know, perhaps this is why King David was so extreme, is that he always had to make sacrifices, plant, explore all the emotions and all of those things, because they were in twos. All these pairs that's coming up is about the polarity, the left and right, the up and down, dancing naked, dancing with clothes, eating, marrying, and doing all of these things, drinking, singing, writing, cursing, whatever it was. And he could curse too, because I think it is Psalm number 91. I'm thinking, is this really in the Bible? Okay, but that's what it is. So, 2, when you do this TWO, this equals 13, which is just like Jesus Christ on this Last Supper with his disciples, the 12 disciples. So here, this is where the correlation is with this. It tells you about having to actually make a sacrifice. So we had Jesus crucified, and also we had the other polarity of or the other partner, you could say, of Judas. So both Jesus and Judas, again, remember I talked about the number 10, of course, Jesus, and Judas, Judas. Of course, they had a lot of these S's, which is the US, United Souls, in there. They had that pack, people. They had that pack. And so they, of course, you could say, let's just do this here, Judas and JUSUS. So people, this JESUS, sorry, I'm so, excuse this, yeah. And people, this they could have been twins right here. They we have been taught through Christianity, that so Judas was, he was so terrible. He crucified if it weren't for him, and so on. Have you not got an experience that someone perhaps had done something seemingly very terrible to you and think that it turned out to be the best thing? That is a kind of love, people, you could say. Now, I may get crucified for saying that, but, and I'm not telling you to do something really terrible to me that I should really try and say, oh yes, and so on. But I think that's what Jesus meant when he said, if someone strike you on one cheek, turn the other, because he is trying to say that this is helping to balance you out, and so this is what see what they had in common. They had this us, which is 31. Who did Jesus went crying to on the mount when he said Father? Because the word Father actually equals 31. Or representing the word garden, 31. Or representing green, when you are green at something, 31. So we can say, 13, it mirrors 13. So here we have again, Judas was here, and of course the S. So we are talking about the serpents here. They invested the serpents, didn't they? The two serpents right there. One, you could say the other one was actually rigid, like in the story of Moses, where it's the rod, and this is the caduceus. This is why we call unto Jesus for healing. Christianity will tell you about this, but they don't break it down like this so you can know that you have the Jesus in you, you have the Christ in you, you are the makeup of the 14 gods, and that's what Jesus, the crucifixion, is about. The two serpents. The two serpents, the word serpent equals 7. 2 sevens equals 14. That's your gods. That's the 14 verbatim gods. And they want you to realize who you are. So they'll prick you, they'll jerk you, they'll squeeze you, they'll turn. All kinds of things are going to happen to you, just as it is recorded that it happened to Jesus on the cross. And notice, people, it is in the book of Matthew. Matthew states it. And Jesus come from the lineage of generations of 14. Like myself, I come from a mother who had 14 children, and I am the fifth child. And I am now beginning to believe that my position in this family as a fifth child, coming from 14, gives me an overview or connection where I can share this kind of knowledge with you. I feel that I had found a way to ignite that lock that shows me this. Okay, so they both had again 5 letters to their names. So you could say that they actually both crucified this aspect of 4 letters. Hey, people, that's what they have in. Oh, they also have the J in common. So you could say the number of man right there. 1, 2. This is it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so they are left. What is left? Let's just look at this. I just want to see this. I may have done it before. So they are left with the A, D. So they are left with A, D, E, and 1 S. So AIDS. O, S, A, D, SADE, SEAD, SEAD, SEAS, oh, SEA. I'm just thinking as Adventist. Okay, S okay, sad. D E S, which is 1451. Adding this together is giving us 6 plus 5, which is 11. And that means that, again, people, you see where Jesus is? Jesus. This is what I mean. There is always one planted. There is the seed that you see and what you don't see. Can you see that here, people? That is where it is said that Jesus died to give us life, meaning that's the double, the master number. So he has overcome his masters right there. And that's what you and I have to do with the 4 remaining letters, which are pinnacle to the foundation here again. And so it would be interesting to see how the letters that they of course shared, which was 2 J's, 2 U's, and 2 S's, wasn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you see what happened here, people? We are talking about doubles, 2 2's, all these. This is what's happening here. So 1 1, 3 3, 1 1. So this is 2, this is 5 and 8, 9, 10. This is the, oh, can you see? Did you see this? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I mean, I didn't even plan how I'm writing this. I'm just doing this and can you see where the 2 3's fall into the middle to show the W, which is the Genesis, Genesis, which equals 33, which I've mentioned all the 33's. This is telling us the 2U, the W. You have to meet your W and work with your W right here with the 2 serpents. Of course, the J's ones as well. Okay. All right, people. So we want to show you a little bit more about the number 22. Now, I really would have loved to. There is so much, people. I have done a lot on number 22. But to show you again that how this story, even of Jesus Christ, has permeated our senses. Remember, we just had this 11, the number 11. We have been faced with this number 11 as in our makeup. Now, there are two things I want to draw on, to bring to your attention again. Again, the number 14, which is the heart and the earth. They both equal 7. 7, 7, that is the 14 gods. Work with your heart in the earth. This is another way of telling you, know thyself. Whatever you do in the earth, you're doing in the heavens here. You are the land here, which is 13, the land 13 or 31. But again, this is what you need to be working with. The other thing I want to explain about the number 22, again, United souls, it's important that we realize we have been controlled into thinking that black and white is the issue because of the vibration of the master numbers. But look at this. It is now easy to see how that has happened. So I just want you to focus on the middle letters in both black and white. Many of us have been locked in the language and the vibration of the numerical values, as we can see here. And that's another reason why the number 22 might pose the most challenging of all. Again, let's take off Jesus. Before we, I do go on, don't I? But I hope you're getting it. And let me know your thoughts on this, people. Let me know if you are getting what I'm saying. Even if I hope I may be wrong, let me know. So this can be repeated. So we are showing you again the W. This is what this is about. Working your W. This is why our first love is with the breast. You could say, let's do our first love with the breast. Then we move to the invisible nipple one, the buttocks. So you are working from up and down. Again, this is the McDonald's, the mouth, the the 3, and all of these right there. So everywhere we go, we see the symbol of this is being shown to us, but we are only relating to it through it. That's why we call everything it, which is also 11. Okay, 11 of course takes us to this 14. 1 ONE equals 7, another ONE equals 7. That's how we have the 14 gods. But adding 1 plus 4 together takes us back to Mother Eve, takes us back to the genealogy of Jesus Christ, takes us back to my mother having 14 children and I'm the 5th child. So 1 plus 4 is 5, and being the 5th child, and I, of course, I'm also a different father to the other 13 siblings. So my dear people, that tells me something. I read something into this. I'm like a bridge, I'm like a link. I'm here, I'm the home, I'm the anchor, all of those things. It's about knowing who you are. Okay, know thyself. Where are you in your family? You didn't just happen to be the first or second or third. What does that mean? Kind of ask it questions. So there's another 13 people. Then we would do 1, which equals 16, which of course is 7. This is 4. And this is 4. But I wanted to explain to you the story, but I have to touch back on Jesus and Judas. Remember I said that the two of them actually died from the 13th, and we did the numerical values, and when we extract the letters that they actually sacrifice, you could say they actually sacrifice the 11. They carried that 11, 1, each of them being 1, but they also, you could say, represent the other 11 disciples that were left. And that's why Christians, more and more I am seeing the idea about how Christianity, or the framework that they are built on, more and more I'm beginning to understand it, but they are not teaching it because there are people controlling something to be able to, you've got to know this stuff. To free your mind, free yourself, free your spirit, you've got to know this stuff. about this 22 or the double or the master number. You've got to know it. We are not given two lips together, stuck here, having a relationship, moving, speaking by chance, or the two nostrils breathing in and out at the same time, or the two eyes to being able to focus on something at the same time, or your breasts or whatever, your two arms. These are not there by chance. And so we need to understand the secret of the master number 22 or any master number. But this is what we are working on now. Okay. So already we can see, and we are doing, it's like we are breaking this down, breaking the law of silence. So we have another 2, and of course, which is 13, another 2, which is 13, and just to see what King David actually had to go through. And we only read about, yeah, he killed Goliath. This is how he earned his title. You know, he was the shepherd boy who slain, a stone and killed the giant Goliath. Now, I must really tell you, all this Goliath is actually your lower chakra. Just like in the story of Moses, which equals 8, and Aaron actually equals 22. This is about Egypt going to the land of Canaan, whether they were wandering wherever, in whatever, but that is to do with the chakras. It is in relation to the chakras, getting ignited, getting your third eye open, people. So here we are, 13, and then we have 4, 4, 4. So we add this together, and I may add a little bit strange to you, but please just bear with us. So we have, this is 12 here, 12, and we have 8, this is 11, and 4, of course, is 15. So this is actually 27. So 2 plus 7, as we said before, is actually showing the nature of, or having to say, well, the two sets of gods are here. The two serpents are here, teaching, showing. But of course, 2 plus 7 is 9. So cycles, meaning David was able to do that, wasn't he? But we are looking at this date here. It's telling us it's a beginning. 9 is beginning. Where there is ending, there is beginning. So this is what is happening here. Number 2, actually, these 2s here, they are catastrophic. They are wild. They will do, this is what they will have the gift of the gab, like Donald Trump. His birthday is actually, I was just noticing, he has this 14 as well. Donald Trump is not in his position by chance, people. No, no, no. Now, I am going to endeavor to make this short, but there was so much in this number 22, which I know I have covered. I wanted to show you the correlation with it, with, of course, the COVID, which, of course, the word COVID-2 equals 26, which is 8. But, of course, when we do the numerical value for the word 8, which equals 31, 3 plus 1 is 4, which is 4 here. This is what we are talking about. So this is about building foundation. This is the master builder. This is the Donald Trump right here, people. So he is actually the 14th of the of June, I remember, and it's 1966, 46. I think it's 46. It cannot be 46. Now I'm just going by my memory, which I'm really loving the idea that my memory works so well. Okay, so it is 46. Okay, so this is 10 and this is 11. So he has an 11 year. You can see that this also puts Donald Trump in a very good position, especially as having this 1 here as the master number, the Jesus here, and of course he has 6 and this is 5. So this 2 is also 11. So adding this together is 22. And of course he is 4. And that's why there is an aspect, no matter what we could say about this man, he has a sense of solidity around him. He, whatever it is, there is some structure. But it also means that he has been the King David as well. His name has gone into how he's been with women, or how he's flippant with his words. And these are all about the same essence of the 22. So I'm going to endeavor not to prolong this much longer. Remember, people, have to click that subscribe button, and leave your comments. And if there is anything that you'd like me to explore, or questions or comment, please feel free to do so. So as we endeavor to continue exploring, which I believe will happen, we will see that in the sixth number of impregnation, that you will see how the number 22 is going to have all its contraction. Now it is putting out 22. And please like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave your comments, and stay ignited.